As the largest manufacturer of synthetic rubber glove in the world, Hartalega Holding Berhad was founded in 1988. It is used especially in the healthcare industry to represent a company's status as an original equipment manufacturer. Besides its own brand, the company is also an original equipment manufacturer that makes high-quality surgical and laboratory gloves. As hospitals in industrialized nations started growing and switched from choosing latex to natural gloves, the business has been expanding consistently. Apex Healthcare Berhad was established as a retail pharmacy in 1962. With operations in Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam and Myanmar, Apex Healthcare Berhad is leading healthcare organisation with expertise in the development, production, sales and marketing, distribution, wholesale and retailing of pharmaceutical, consumer healthcare product and diagnostic. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Puan Nur Shazrina binti Wan Saidi and I will be explaining the trend analysis and comparison between Hartalega Holding Berhad and Apex Healthcare Berhad in terms of liquidity ratio. As you can see, this is the calculation of liquidity ratio I calculate for both companies based on their annual report from 2016 to 2020. Now, let's move to the first ratio. For the net working capital graph, Hartalega showed an uptrend movement from 2017 to 2020. Meanwhile, Apex showed an increasing movement from 2016 to 2018 but fall slightly in 2019 and increased back in 2020. Moreover, Hartalega is doing very fine as the net working capital ratio of the company is getting better in 2020 compared to the previous year. The company is improving because the demand of gloves is higher due to the pandemic of COVID-19. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad, the trend of the figures in 2019 showed a drastic decline since that year. The company has expanded too fast without increasing its liquid asset. Next, for the current ratio, Hartalega Holding Berhad showed an uptrend movement from 2017 until 2020. Meanwhile, Apex Healthcare Berhad showed a downward trend from 2016 to 2019 but managed to rise in 2020. Furthermore, Hartalega shows the highest current ratio in 2020 than the previous year because the annual report has indicated that mid the pandemic, the usage of gloves in hospitals has increased substantially. Meanwhile, Apex Healthcare showed a significant decrease in 2019 due to the decline in inventories, trade and other receivables and cash and bank balance. Lastly, for the quick ratio, Hartalega showed an uptrend movement from 2017 until 2020. Meanwhile, Apex Healthcare showed a downward trend from 2016 to 2019 but managed to rise in 2020. Moreover, Hartalega has reached the highest quick ratio in 2020 because the company is able to pay its current liabilities without selling any inventory and they are not struggling to pay its own debt. Meanwhile, Apex Healthcare has the greatest quick ratio in the year 2016 due to the increase in current assets, specifically in trade and receivables, resulting from increased sales and vast investment of the group in domestic countries and overseas. Overall, Hartalega Holding Berhad had better performance than Apex Healthcare Berhad throughout the 5 years in terms of liquidity ratio, which indicates the good financial health of the company. Therefore, Apex Healthcare should focus more on its account receivable in order to improve its cash flow and ensure better performance in the future. Now, I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Abdul Rahman bin Hazar. I will be explaining the trend and comparative analysis between two companies and the activity ratios. As you can see, the account receivable turnover graph, the Hartalega graph is slightly down, start from 2017 to 2020. But the decline did not show a very significant change for the 5-year seen. Meanwhile, Apex showed improvement in its graph where it increased from year to year. According to the account receivable turnover calculation, the Hartalega is excellent in year 2016 with the maximum R2 6.27 times compared to the top's Apex, which only gets 5.82 times in year 2020. They demonstrate that Hartalega is more successful in collecting debts from customers. Moving to the average collection period, Hartalega showed a slight upward movement in 2018 and 2020, but it still didn't show very significant changes in those 5 years. In contrast to Apex, it showed a significant downward movement from 2017 to 2020. However, Hartalega is still excellent in year 2017 with the shortest days at 7 days compared to the shortest Apex, which only gets 6-7 days in year 2020. They demonstrate that the Hartalega is more successful in collecting debts in a shorter period of time. Next, fixed asset turnover. Hartalega showed a far-reaching difference compared to Apex from 2016 to 2020, even though it reached its highest time in 2018, which is 1.51 times. Despite this, Apex still showed a really drastic downward movement in 2018. According to graph, the Apex is excellent in 2016 with the greatest value 5.76 times compared to the top Hartalega, which only get 1.51 times in 2018. This revealed that the Apex is more efficient efficient in producing items or goods for sale utilizing just fixed assets. For total asset turnover, Hartalega showed a slight increase from 2016 to 2019 and slightly decreased in 2020. Meanwhile, Apex showed a downward movement for the past 5 years from 2016 to 2020. However, the total asset used by Apex did exceed the capabilities of the Hartalega to generate sales. According to the total asset turnover graph, the Apex is still excellent in 2016 with the highest reach 1.39 times compared to the highest Hartalega, which only received 0.94 times in 2019. This shows that Apex is more efficient in leveraging all the resources, including current and fixed assets, to generate sales. Finally, in inventory turnover, Hartalega has shown a staggering increase from 2018 to 2020. Meanwhile, Apex showed a downward movement in graph starting in 2017. From the calculation base of the graph, Hartalega is excellent in 2020 with the highest title 7.97 times compared to the maximum Apex 7.02 times in 2017. We can see that Hartalega use inventories and all the items to create sales more efficiently. Overall, Apex Healthcare has high opportunity in managing all of the company's assets, including inventories and fixed assets, such as machinery used to produce goods to generate sales. However, Hartalega has a greater ability to collect debts and credit sales, which is accessible from customers than Apex Healthcare throughout a 5 years period from 2016 to 2020. That's all from me. I pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Maramati Mazlan, and I will be explaining about the trend and comparative analysis between two companies, which is Hartalega Holding Berhad and Apex Healthcare Berhad in terms of profitability ratio. As you can see, this is calculation of the profitability ratio that I calculate for Hartalega Holding Berhad and Apex Healthcare Berhad based on the annual report from 2016 until 2020. For the trend analysis of gross profit margin, Hartalega Holding Berhad showed a downward movement from 2017 until 2019. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad showed a downward movement from 2018 to 2020. For the comparative analysis, Hartalega has reached the highest in 2017 because during the period was due to increase in sales revenue and improvement in operational efficiency. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad was great in year 2018 due to increases prices while maintaining sales. The total sales figure increases, the cost stayed the same, and the gross profit margin was goes up. Next, Hartalega Holding Berhad had a better performance throughout the 5 years than the Apex Healthcare Berhad, which is able to keep its profit despite the high cost of goods sold. Other than that, to improve the profitability of a company, they must lower the cost, increase the prices, and get rid of unprofitable products. For the trend analysis for operating profit margin, Hartalega showed a decrease from 2018 until 2020. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad showed an uptrend movement from 2016 until 2018, but slightly fall until 2020. For the comparative analysis, Hartalega showed a significant increase in 2018 from the previous year because the growth was driven by favorable demand and additional production capacity. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad has reached the lowest operating profit margin in 2016. This is due to increase in sales or an increase in expenses. For the trend analysis of net profit margin, Hartalega showed a decrease from 2018 until 2020. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad showed an increase from 2016 until 2018. For the comparative analysis, Hartalega showed a significant increase in 2018 from the previous year due to increase in volume as a result of strong global demand for natural gloves. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad showed a significant increase in 2018 from the previous year because on higher margin product in the sales mix of the group's operating subsidiaries and improved quarterly contribution from its associate. For the trend analysis of return on equity, Hartalega showed a downward movement from 2018 until 2020. Meanwhile, for Apex showed an uptrend movement from 2016 until 2018. For the comparative analysis, Hartalega has reached the highest in 2018 because Hartalega Holding Berhad has a low gearing ratio where the majority of its funds required for expansion is obtained via equity financing. Meanwhile, for Apex Healthcare Berhad was great in year 2018 due to reduce the value of shareholder equity. For trend analysis of return on asset, Hartalega showed a downward movement from 2018 until 2020. Meanwhile, for Apex showed an uptrend movement from 2016 until 2018. For comparative analysis, Hartalega showed a significant increase in 2018 due to Hartalega Berhad has a low profit margin and mostly uses equity financing to raise the money needed for expansion. Meanwhile, Apex Healthcare Berhad showed a significant decrease in 2016 because Apex might have overinvested in assets that have failed to produce revenue growth, a sign the company may be in some trouble. Next, Hartalega Holding Berhad had a better performance throughout the 5 years than the Apex Healthcare Berhad, which is able to keep its profit despite the high cost of goods sold. Other than that, to improve the profitability of a company, they must lower the cost, increase the prices, and get rid of unprofitable products.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Nofatia Baki. So now, I will continue for our next ratio, which is leverage ratios. First ratio is debt ratio. Based on the graph, it shows that in 2016, the debt ratio of Hartalega has increased, while for 2018 until 2020, debt ratio of Hartalega has slightly decreased due to lower debt. While for Apex Healthcare, the percentage of their debt ratio is quite higher than Hartalega, and it will cause the higher risk due to higher debt. From the calculation above, Hartalega Berhad is better in the year 2019, which is the debt ratio is lower than Apex Healthcare. The reason why Apex has higher debt is because the company has the higher liabilities than their total assets. Second ratio is debt equity ratio. In the 2016 to 2017, the debt equity ratio for Hartalega has increased because the debt to equity of the company is higher and slightly decreased in the year of 2018 until 2020. While for Apex, their debt equity ratio was not consistent because in the year 2018, it was suddenly increased compared to Hartalega Berhad. But for 2019 and 2020, it slowly decreased but still higher than Hartalega. Hartalega shows significant changes between Apex in the year 2018. It is because the company's total liabilities but its shareholders' equity is higher. It shows that the risk of Hartalega Berhad is lower compared to Apex Healthcare. Apex Healthcare should focus more to their shareholders' benefit so that all the investors were interested to invest their money for the company. Last but not least is time interest earned. In the 2016 to 2017, the TIE of Hartalega Berhad has slightly decreased, while for 2018 has getting increased. But in the 2019 and 2020, the TIE was decreased gradually because Hartalega Berhad operations less profitable than any of its peers. For Apex in the 2016 until 2018, the TIE of Apex was slightly increased, while for year 2019 and 2020, the TIE of the company is getting decreased and will result lower profits. Based on the graph above, Hartalega shows the positive movement from 2016 until 2018, which is higher than Apex. It is because in year 2016, Hartalega has invested 7 billion ringgit as part of the expansion. So that's all from me. For the next ratio, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello, I'm Rashidin binti Hamdan. Next, I would like to proceed with market ratio analysis between Apex and Hartalega. For trend analysis, as per graph shown, we can see that earning per share for Hartalega is fluctuating with a minimum differences throughout 5 years from 2016 to 2020. Meanwhile, Apex, they show an uptrend movement from 2016 to 2018, but drastically shown a downward trend in 2019 to 2020. As dividend per share, Hartalega showed a fluctuated movement from 2016 to 2018, but slowly decreased their DPS in year 2019 to 2020, with a minimum differences between both years, which is 1.92 and 1.88 each. For Apex, it showed an upward trend from 2016 to 2020 and again drastically decreased in 2019 but managed to increase a little bit in 2020. For comparative analysis, Hartalega showed a good increase movement in year 2018 to 2019. Hartalega attribute their performance significantly as we can see from the graph shown above. Unlike Apex, as we can see, there have been a drastic decrease movement in 2018 to 2019. The downward trend shown by Apex will negatively impact their shareholders. Moving on to dividend per share, as we can see in 2018 to 2019 that Hartalega is slowly decreased their DPS from 2.21 to 1.92 in 2019. As we can see that Hartalega is trying to maintain their distribution by having a small changes year by years. Compared to Apex, having a huge downward trend during the same years. Apex is having challenging year in 2019 in a view of the uncertain global economic prospect, foreign exchange volatility and higher operating expenses. Overall, Hartalega is show a better trend throughout 5 years compared to Apex in terms of earning and dividend per share. Therefore, Apex should measure their money and their earning and increasing their earning years by years. Thank you.
In conclusion, it shows that Hartalega Berhad has the better performance regarding all the ratios compared to Apex Healthcare. Hartalega Berhad shows their good performance in measure the effectiveness of the company in producing profit. Investors who view the Hartalega Berhad will give the higher return in future. For Apex Healthcare, they need to reinstate their management to ensure the better performance in the future. So that's all from us. Thank you.